Welcome back to the International Wealth Builders Association radio broadcast podcast. I'm Patrick Hunter, the host today. And as we left off earlier, I was talking to you about the reasons that people actually don't get from A to B. It's basically psychological. It's up here. The fact of it is that you've got to become, the fastest way I'm going to explain it to you is by teaching you the 4 levels of competency. Basically, let's say you're a baby and you're sitting in a bucket in the living room with the family. You're looking up at people, you're looking around, and you have no idea that you don't know how to walk, right? So that's what we call unconscious incompetence. Then you move on to the next level where you look around and you say, hey, I'm stuck in this bucket and these people are walking around. Look at these giants, they're moving. That's what we call conscious incompetence. Then we go to the next level where you're hanging onto the coffee table, you're walking around, you're tripping, you're falling down, and you're aware of what you're doing, but you have to strain mentally to make it work. That's what we call conscious competence. And then you're 2 years old, you're screaming around the house, you're destroying the cat, the dog, the plants, and everything, and you're on autopilot. You get yourself to autopilot. That's what we call unconscious competence. And that's what I'm an expert at doing, is getting people to take action, getting over the fear, whatever that fear is, and taking action on what it is they want in their goals. And doing that, and that's one of the programs I'm going to be doing with the International Wealth Builders Association, is my Maximum Inner Drive, how to become driven from within, how to get over the fears and take action on that. So right now I'm going to go over and head over to my friend here, Richard Garcia.
How you doing, Patrick?
Richard is a property manager, and he handles a lot of properties, a lot of doors. He does screening, he does all that sort of stuff. So what do you see for, like, you're in the Southern California market, right?
Yes, Southern California.
So what do you see happening in the rental market? Do you see prices for rentals keeping up? Do you see?
Yeah, we're definitely looking at an increase in rents. Just on average, we're looking at 3 to 5% across the board, with no sign of stopping whatsoever.
Okay, great.
The demand is there.
Sorry, it's my timer.
The demand is there. People are still looking for properties.
Okay.
We've got a big shift of people coming from different counties that have a little more money, into counties that are a little more affordable.
Right, so everybody's trying to move to a nicer neighborhood for less money. Yeah.
Exactly. And then with COVID, a lot of the employers are allowing them to work from home now. So you're just seeing you're seeing a migration of people selling smaller houses in LA County, for example, and coming over to Riverside County and getting an affordable place and having to work from home. So it's the best of both worlds for them, but it's tough for us because it's just keeping the demand.
On that, in California, what's going on with the COVID restrictions, the moratoriums? What's going on with that? Tell us a little bit about that.
The moratoriums are over. The only thing that the state has us in right now would be in the Emergency Act. Our governor, unfortunately, likes to enact an emergency act for everything from COVID to fires, and usually that is the number one thing that's keeping rents from going up a certain percentage. For example, 10% is usually the worst you can go up to, because once you pass 10%, the gouging laws go into effect, and then we have.
Sorry, guys. No worries.
So
go ahead. So keep going.
Yeah. So basically, 10% is about average that you can go up. There's some variances, and there's a couple different laws that were enacted during the COVID that restrict your movement as far as rent's concerned. But to answer your original question, you can evict somebody for non-payment. It's a little harder now than it used to be. You just got to really dot your I's and cross your T's and make sure.
I bet the landlords are happy to hear that, huh?
They are happy to hear that. Luckily, where I'm at, we have 120 doors, and we had no evictions whatsoever in the last 2 years. And we had only 1 or 2 people pay late, which we made arrangements and really stepped up to show them some compassion and basically, not hammer them so hard, knowing what was going on at the time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to reach you and find out more questions, how would they do that?
You
Give
can
me your
email
email.
Yeah, definitely. You can email me direct at R as in Richard, then my last name, Garcia, Garcia, PC, P like Paul, C like cat, at yahoo.com. That's rgarciapc at yahoo.com.
And PC stands for property consultant,
Property
right?
consultant, yep.
Absolutely. Well, great. Also, so people are having a hard time finding things to rent, just almost as bad as the houses to sell and buy. So do you think that's going to continue that pace?
I believe so. It's there's just right now income is an issue where we don't have a lot of people with higher incomes. So under $2,000 seems to be the golden number where you're getting 1,000 calls.
Right.
Above that takes a little longer because it's a certain type of income and a certain type
And
of
we're not
person.
talking anything fancy either.
No, exactly. We're talking 12,
In
1,300 square
fact,
foot, two-bedroom
if you're in
condos.
LA and Orange County or San Diego, that's a trash can with a door.
Pretty much. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
so, yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
But, have heart, people out there. I'm an expert in creative financing and things like that. And I'm going to come up and talk to you about in the third segment what we're doing to actually get people into houses and help them build their credit, save their credit, all that kind of stuff. It is possible. Have faith. We'll get you into home ownership. That's what the whole third segment's all about for that and the investors. We're going to help you help these people get into houses. That's what it's all about. Okay, I don't want to see the foreclosures and things like that happen like they did last time. This time we has a completely different market, and I'll get into that in a little bit. All right, so Richard.
Yes.
You're here today as one of our sponsors because you have something really cool.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I have a online tenant screening service for licensed real estate agents called RentPro. In a nutshell, what it is, it's a transaction coordinator for you agents who are listening. You know what a TC is for leases and rentals. Now, some of you maybe think, oh, I don't need a transaction coordinator for leases and rentals. Well, A, it's free. It doesn't cost you a penny.
Nice.
B, it gives you everything you need to present to your owner an applicant. So the first thing that happens is the applicant gets sent by you, the agent, to my website, to the rentpro.com. What they do from there is they complete their applications. They upload their income, ID, bank statements. We pull a fresh credit report, a TransUnion credit report with a score. It's a tenant screening report. We run a criminal background within the state of California. We package it up in a PDF and send it back to the listing agent.
And who pays for that?
The tenant pays for that. The applicant, I'm sorry.
The
applicant.
potential
yes,
tenant.
The potential,
Okay.
the potential applicant.
Now, can a potential tenant do this and then give it to a bunch of people, or just the one person they're working
No,
with?
this is strictly meant for the lease listing agent. So whoever
Okay.
put the property up on the MLS as the listing agent is the one who gets that file.
And that's your target market right now is actually
Absolutely.
licensed people
Yes.
who handle properties.
Absolutely, and it's so simple. Just to nutshell it, it's literally just you don't have to create an account on my website. You don't have to chase documents. You send your applicant to the website. They do everything. They pay for their credit. They pay for their background. It gets sent to you for free. It doesn't cost you a penny. You don't even have to get on the system at all. So it's
Wow.
very convenient and very easy.
And then you just get like an email package that
that's
tells
it.
you all about the
That's it.
potential client, right?
Yep, it has everything you need. That way you can go to your seller or your
You
owner.
hear that, landlords? You need to get a hold of an agent who uses this.
Yes.
Tell them what it is again.
Okay, the company's called RentPro, and send anybody. Well, these are active real estate agents. Believe me, don't just send anybody, please. Don't, don't do that. If you have a qualified applicant or somebody you screened over the phone that you feel comfortable with, you've shown them the property, you want to take them to the next step, send them to GoRentPro.com.
That's GoRentPro.com, right?
Yep. Have them hit the Start My Application button. They're going to need a handful of things from you. They're going to need your name as the agent, the property address, and your email and phone number. And that's it. That's all they need. They go online, they spend 10 minutes to fill out an application, it gets sent to me and verified, we send it back out to the agent, and you're done.
Awesome. That's a really cool product.
Yes, we're having good
That's
success.
really going to simplify things for
Absolutely.
people that handle potential tenants.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So also, right now, people can get a hold of you if they want to actually put their home up for rent anywhere in the Southern California area. That's the area that we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about as far as the rules and regulations. Please check your area for rules and regulations in your city where you're at, because it's going to be different state by state, city by city, these kinds of things.
Yes.
That's going to be true for the real estate market, which I'm going to talk about in the next segment too. But as far as renters, people can actually get into properties and build their credit. I have another company I'll talk to you about that helps people clean up their credit and be able to buy or rent. So if you want to find out about that, get on one of our classes and programs. You can get a hold of me and send me your information, your email, and what you're interested into at info@megalithic.us. That's info, IMFO, at megalithic.us, okay? So you're lucky you haven't had to evict many people like that, huh?
No, we've had some pretty good luck.
Okay, with the ones that you've had, were they not paying rent, or?
Well, yes, we had some slow pays. We had some people who were genuinely in trouble. And rather than being your typical property manager where you just want to hammer them with the rules, we got together with our owners and said, hey, we're having some trouble with 2 or 3 of these people. let's take a different approach. Let's try to empathize with their situation. Let's try to show some compassion, and maybe they'll cooperate so we don't have to evict them when the moratorium's over. Now, this is all during the COVID situation.
Right, right.
And
which is
it
now
worked.
all completely changed.
Absolutely
yeah.
worked. They've pretty much been caught up. A couple of them did move, but we didn't have any issues or problems. Traditionally, what you would assume you'd have with renters who are in trouble.
Excellent.
Yes.
Again, how can they get a hold of you?
At rgarciapc@yahoo.com.
And basically, you want right now you're looking for agents who handle rentals,
Yes.
leases,
Yes, yes.
big property managers that handle that stuff, and you want to be able to take over their screening business for them and simplify it.
Absolutely. That's the whole goal of RentPro.
Yeah, so they go to GoRentPro.com
.com.
to start the process.
Yep, and click the Start My Application button.
And it's all outlined on there, what to do first, what
Yes.
to do next.
Yep, disclosures are in place. It explains
That's
to the tenant
awesome.
exactly what they got to do and walks them through it.
That's awesome. You mean the guy can't just bring the agent a bucket of money and say, trust me,
No.
I've got 10 pit bulls and 5 snakes,
Well,
but I'm really a good tenant.
Well, I probably have
I
talked
swear to
about that.
God, they don't eat anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, no more of those shenanigans. We make it simple and easy. I'm available by email anytime. If anybody wants to talk to me direct, go ahead and hit me up directly through my email, and I'll give you my personal cell phone. If you are currently a landlord who has a tenant and you're not sure how to handle it because you want to sell the property, that's another one of the areas where a lot of my other realtors are referring us some business, basically saying, hey, can you help this gentleman? He needs to sell a condo and he's got a tenant in there.
And conversely, you can actually, if somebody's interested in finding an agent, you can refer them
Absolutely.
to an agent to do that.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for this segment. We'll be back to talk to you on the International Wealth Builders Association.com radio show and podcast. I'm Patrick Hunter, your host. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's going to happen in the future with this crazy market interest rates and stuff like that.